Do you know that temptation that we go through sometimes when we have to make a decision or we have to do something differently and we're not quite sure which direction to go? And sometimes we feel like we have a devil on one shoulder, kind of leading us down a more darker path or kind of encouraging us to do something that we shouldn't do. And then on the other shoulder, we have the angel that pops up and says, maybe you better rethink this. That is the struggle that the person in my poem, The Devil on My Shoulder, is going through when with regard to making a decision. Hi, my name is K.A. Bloch, and I am the award-winning author and poet of 4 books that consist of poetry and prose. My channel is The Practical Poet, and on that channel, I do a weekly poetry reading where I feature a different poem and I give the backstory, a little bit of my inspiration, some motivation, what caused me to write the poem. And so it's a little bit of storytelling through poetry, if you will. The poem that I'm talking about today comes from my second book called Scatter Seeds of Kindness. And this is a poem called The Devil on My Shoulder. And again, kind of has to do with temptation, but not necessarily with purchasing something or doing something. This has to do more with the person in the poem being in a bit of a dark or gray place and wanting to stay there because sometimes it feels good to be a little cranky, doesn't it? To be a little gray and gloomy. So they're struggling with that, and they attribute that to the devil on their shoulder, keeping them in this great place. But then throughout the poem, the angel makes another appearance on this person's other shoulder and kind of encourages them to step out of the darkness and, find a little bit more brightness and positivity in their world. So I'd like to read you an excerpt from that poem, just a couple short verses. And if you like what you hear, I hope that you head over to the full-length version. I will link it in the notes below. So here is just a short excerpt from The Devil on My Shoulder. All the affirmations say to wake up with gratitude. I try my best, but there are days I am just not in the mood. For reasons that I cannot explain, my temper just feels sour. But to change my frame of mind today seems far outside my power. I rather enjoy this feeling of being irritable and weary. The weather seems to match my mood. It is overcast and dreary. I know I should erase this mood, but I fear it will remain. The world grips my darkness as the clouds release the rain. Do I give in to the negative and let it win this round, or do I fight with all my might to turn bad thoughts around? I hope that I am wrong, and I hope it goes away, but I think the devil on my shoulder will win the fight today. So that is an excerpt of The Devil on My Shoulder. If you like what you hear, I would appreciate it if you would head over to my to my channel for the full-length version of the poem. Again, The Devil on My Shoulder. I will link it below. And thanks so much for tuning in. Bye.